close the gap on Portugal in 14th position. And Japan, of course, secured core status on the HSBC 7's World Series circuit last year in Hong Kong. They've not had the best of seasons, and this is by far their best performance. And their supporters have come out in goodly numbers on Cup Finals Day as we reflect on their record yesterday. Drew with Argentina and defeated Samoa. Just lost narrowly to France to qualify second in their pool. Fiji, it was a tough opening game for them against Wales. Then Fiji, well, they're slow starters, as we know, in tournaments, but they've built through, winning against Hong Kong and England. Alex Ruiz is our referee for this match. I'm Wyn Griffith, and I'm joined by Willie Losey for this one. Well, it's a big day for Japan, Willie Losey. It's a big weekend for them.
It really is, and as you mentioned, first time in 15 years. Looking forward to this.
Very much so. Fiji with ball in hand for the first time, and it was Kotoninbao, Kolinisau, and this could well be a stroll in the park for the Fijians. The opening score, so easy for the Fijians. Stretching his legs there was Josiah Raisungi.
Stop the clock because it's only taken 14 seconds. I thought that pass there had gone forward. That looked forward to me. Nonetheless, you play on, and that's exactly what these men in the white shirts do better than anybody else at the moment. And Raisungi, the young 20-year-old, gets them on the board. Yeah,
interestingly enough, Ben Ryan starting with Raisungi here, who has shown maturity beyond his young shoulders, according to the coach Ben Ryan, and is comfortable at swapping roles with the more experienced Jerry Tuwai. Ben Ryan has seen his team win the Cup Finals recently at the Las Vegas and Hong Kong tournaments. The challenge now is to secure back-to-back wins within the same leg, and that is the challenge for Fiji here in Tokyo today.
Well, they've been a lot more consistent this year. Vere Malua rising high, trying to batter the ball backwards. It's gone forward, and so finally Japan will get their hands on the ball.
Yeah, Ben Ryan has certainly instilled some standards of discipline. Gone are the Carver days, Willie Losey.
Sadly.
Fujita with a headgear. Now then, Limeki, one of the star players in this Japan side, certainly set them on their way yesterday with some scintillating tries, particularly so against Samoa in that 26-12 victory. They'll have a go. They've got nothing to lose. Have the Japanese, the brave blossoms. Goto.
And that's just foolish play from Goto. Too close to the sideline. You've got to fight to stay in field. No point taking the ball over the line and giving it back to the Fijians. So disappointing end. Let's not take anything away from what they achieved yesterday in the draw against Argentina, and also that magnificent win against Samoa.
It's been a tough season for Tomohiro Sagawa, the coach. Players not available because of educational and club commitments, and just meant that the squad can only get together at the beginning of the week of a particular tournament. But they've been together now for a month or so, and that was evident yesterday when they put some lovely moves together to secure a win against Samoa and a draw against Argentina. The kick through from Lotte Tumiri deep into the Fijian 22. Back there covering is Ravuvu from the Tuka Barbarians. Very impressive. Semi Kunatani gets away from the chasing Yoshikazu Fujita. Referee Ruiz is quite happy, and the ball again finds its way out, this time once more to Raisungi, who's over for his second try.
Well, that's how you play sevens rugby, is you use the whole width of the field. There's no point of running where the ball is, and these players identify space. It was Kunatani who did all of the hard work, and you play to the whistle. Look at that, Vere Malua, that's gone 30 metres on the fly, and Raisungi's out there. He could have been sitting in the stand. Not a Japanese defender within Kui.
Well, Fijians, as we know, they play sunshine rugby, and they love to play with the ball in hand, but they can also play when it rains. And they're ahead by 12-0, and comfortably so. 4 minutes into this first half. Vuvu. Recalled by Ben Ryan, who's been in previous squads, but a medical condition prevented him from taking a full part. But Ben Ryan, good work by him, sorted out his medication and is back in the fold. Fujita never gives up, does Yasukazu Fujita. Wearing 9 for Japan. High hopes for him at the Rugby World Cup in England, but looking for a hat-trick here is Josiah Raisungi. A hat-trick for the Fijian number 8 in the opening 5 minutes of this match.
Yeah, he's terrific. What an athlete, and somebody that just takes opportunities. He looked up after the ruck, and remember leading with Carlton Nana last night, and we were just saying that these Fijians are just great athletes. Sprinted away, but all of the hard work done by the forwards. It was Kotonombiao who drew in 3 of the defenders. He's big and he's strong, and so 3 defenders from Japan had to try and bring him to ground. That means that there was space, and it is an Olympic sport next year. When he hurdled the ones that were on the ground and sprinted to score his 3rd.
Well, Fiji, they're on target. Certainly they're 2nd in the World Series table at the moment, behind South Africa on 108 points, and a further 36 points would secure automatic qualification, Olympic qualification for the Fijians. And if they can add another 22 here for winning the cup, for retaining the cup here in Tokyo, then they are well on their way to Rio in 2016, well on his way to the try line. Here is Semi Kunatani. Yeah, there is the Y, the yellow tambo.
Well, he's amazing, Semi Kunatani. Just one of those players. He normally plays in the forwards, but on this occasion from Ben Ryan, he's been asked to stay out on the wing. And have a look at this. First opportunity in the game, he just glides past. And watch this. This goes on, and here it is, the kiss of the Y sign for the Holy Spirit, dedicated to the school children of Daku Village School, who I know are listening back in Fiji at the moment. He was a guest at their prefect induction, and he said that he wouldn't forget the kids, and that's his sign to them.
Yeah, the hand fans dedicated to the Daku Village School. Semi Kunatani, what a player. He's rejected lucrative offers from overseas to play 15s. He's determined to make it to Rio in 2016, and then he'll consider all options. So this then the last act of the first half, where there's been one-way traffic for the Fijians. Neat little sleight of hand there, releasing Lotte Tungiri. This is Fujita, and listen to the crowd. They found their voices at last as Gotu is up to the Fijian 10-meter line. Sakai, the captain, floating the pass out to Lemeki. He's the danger man, and Fiji recognise that. They look to crowd him out. A good, quick recycling here. Fujita, lovely sleight of hand once more from Tungiri, and sensibly releases the ball and gathers once more. Fujita, could there be a score here for Fiji before the break? This is Chihito Matsui. And it's still there for Japan, and Kwazuru, the experienced Kwazuru, out to Sakai. Sakai scores!
That has to be one of the tries of the tournament, without a doubt, in very difficult conditions. Japan made it look so easy against the defending champs. Their ball control, their decision making, and then the finish was brilliant. Here, Tingeri, they identified, we've just got to get it wide. The Fijians, they didn't have the numbers there, and the captain goes in the corner.
Tomohiro Sagawa, delighted with that effort. And the way the Japanese kept the ball, retained possession. Sakai sees his effort bounce off the upright. And Japan are on to the score sheet. They trail though 22-5 at the break.
フィジー代表対日本代表の試合は前半を終了して22対5でフィジー代表がリードします。
最後のトライであれでいいの、もう一回継続すれば絶対ボール出せる。でもう一回ハントインするしっかりするで我慢する、プレッシャーそこだけでタックルやっぱやっていきたいこと低くいくこと OK そこだけやりましょう OK もう一回我慢絶対我慢状態だやっぱやりきる
キックオフが相手ボールに入った時に全然慌てる必要ないよ。トレーニングが作る練習しちゃう。上を作ればいい。これが全然じゃなくて、一人一人焦って一人詰めるやつを一人が引くやつ。そういうことをやった時は全然やってきたことやってない。もう一回相手ボールになった時にしっかり面を作ること。誰がボール、誰ステップか。で逆に前ボール入った時にまず誰まで踏むの。そこに
That's that ball. Make it a valuable asset for us this half. The bowler, eh? Yeah. I'll make the changes, but you make sure you work hard, eh?
Ben Ryan there reminding his charges that you still need to work hard despite this advantage that you have. Don't let your energy levels drop. And I will make the changes, he says, as I see fit.
It's a mental side of the game now, isn't it, on day two? Of course, a long week in Hong Kong, and then they get here, the body's tired. It's all about just making sure that the top two inches, that they concentrate for the whole time that they are out on the field. A lapse of concentration, all of a sudden, Japan score a try.
So Japan guaranteed of 10 points. And that will certainly give them a huge boost as they think about the last leg of the tournament of the series in Europe, Scotland and in England.
And it's an interesting point that you make when, as we see Ralph Volvo, they're just releasing the ball and it being propelled forward. Everybody's interested in who the top four are, but let's not forget that Japan and Portugal are down the bottom, and of course the 15th team drops out.
Yeah, and each game for Japan and Portugal from here on in takes on an additional significance. But back to the here and now, and here's some strong running from Chihito Matsui from the Doshisha University Club. Fujita tried the end of the first half, certainly lifted the spirits here at the Chichibumayana Stadium. As Japan look for their second score, which could well bring them back into this match. They're certainly not overawed by the Fijians, and no respect for the current holders of the cup here in Japan.
He's been their go-to guy, Limano Lemeki, scoring 4 tries yesterday, and on that occasion from his captain, it wasn't a great pass in these difficult conditions, and he's lost it forward. They look so good, Japan, their ability to move the ball, and the question that we've been asking in the commentary box is, why didn't they do this the other 6 tournaments?
Well, I think it's because that Tomohiro Sagawa hasn't been able to get the players that he wants. It's just Goto and Sakai, they played in 7 tournaments. Kozuru and Yoshida, they played in 6, and then it's 1 and 2 tournaments each for the remaining 25, 26 or so players that Sagawa has used. The paceman here of very, very coming off the bench. Good defense again by Japan. Can afford a smile though, can Samisoni Very Very. 52 tries to his name last season.
Shouted him well, didn't he, Matsui? Gave him the outside, and then he just stayed on his shoulder and pushed him wide. And Sweeper coming across the man with the ball now. Fujita completed the tackle.
There is Fujita with ball in hand. Holds the record, world record for the most test tries by a teenager, beating Wales's George North. Into the hands of Fujita, the quick offload. Lemeki, tremendous work there by Lemeki. Sakai, and once more, listen to the crowd. This is how the first try came about. Quick transfers through the hands. Tungiri does well. Sees the ball fall into the hands of that man, Samisoni Viri. The long-striding Samisoni Viri. Kwazulu can only just about keep up with him and force the score out wide.
They did everything perfect up to the last pass from Tingeri here. That was just thrown and then popped on from Fujita. No ball control. He didn't need a second invitation. He hardly got out of first gear. Samisoni Viri.
Fiji currently on 17 consecutive wins. Their last defeat was to England in the Cup quarterfinals in Wellington in February. That's a terrific strike from the Fijian kickers here, Kulinisau. So Ravuvu to restart, 29-5. Drops it just beyond the 10-meter line, and the height advantage of Apisai Domolailai. Secured possession. But again, Sakai proving what a good little one can do. Looking to outmuscle the Japanese at the breakdown. They'll have none of it. Now then, what's going to happen here? Fijians were up very quickly in defense. There's no way the ball was going to go out to the paceman on the wing for Japan. Vadamalua to Raisungi. Hat-trick in the first half. It's 4 up for Raisungi. Fifth try this weekend for young Josiah Raisungi.
Kuazuru made the mistake of going into contact, and then from the penalty they simply moved it out. Fujita went high, and you're never going to catch a Fijian Sevens player if you try and tackle them by the shirt.
So he has the most tries here in Tokyo this weekend, and another conversion piling on the score, then 36-5.
They're in good form, and one would suggest too they've won Vegas, they won Hong Kong last week, and here they are looking for a three-peat, and that would actually perhaps propel them into the #1 position.
It could well do. South Africa occupy that position at the moment on 110 points, trailing by 1 to Fiji. New Zealand on 107, and then it's going to be the battle for 4th place, which possibly Australia have relinquished this weekend. We'll see. They need to win the bowl, as England are through to the Cup quarterfinals. So running the clock down and into the final minute, and Japan can look back on a job well done this weekend, and they'll keep the pressure on Portugal as the series moves to the final leg in Europe next month. Oh, good power, good pace, good strike here by Savanaga Rawatha.
His second try, 31st in the career, and you just can't afford to try and tackle the Fijians up high. You've got to go around the legs, you've got to make contact and drive your shoulder, and that's hopeless. And that's the reason why you got the don't answer, and then that one there is just as feeble.
Yeah, the former pig hunter in his village of Umboa swapped his spear for the handoff. And it's a good try. Fiji, the top try scorers here in Tokyo this weekend, and they're looking good at the moment to hold on to the cup they won in that incredible final of 12 months ago when they defeated South Africa. Could it be a repeat of that final? I wonder, but it's a job well done by Fiji, 41-5, but all credit to Japan. It's been a terrific weekend already for the host nation.